Questions as we go along, feel free to interrupt. I don't want this to just be a presentation. I want it to be, a back and forth Q&A. First things first, my parents did sign a permission slip for me to be here today, so you guys don't have to worry about that. But talking a very macro level first of all, so we're going to hop into the macro view, the 50,000-foot overview. What's our biggest barometer of the health of the U.S. economy? That is GDP, right? So GDP is one of the largest metrics that we track for the health of the United States economy. And you're going to be seeing this chart a lot in today's conversation, so let me just take a step back to explain it. What we're looking at here is the left-hand side is actual historical GDP performance. So the dark blue is what's happened in the past. Our teal lines are our forecast for the U.S. consumer economy. And the reason I say consumer economy is because GDP is, for the majority, U.S. personal consumption. So what you've noticed is clearly 2008, 2009 is a pretty good indication of when we dipped, right? We went through the housing market crisis in 2008 and 2009. That's reflected both on the left and the right-hand side, where you see that significant dip going on, right? So 2008, 2009, we fell both. The important part of today's presentation is to, one, know how you relate to the U.S. economy. Do you lead the U.S. economy? Do you lag it? It's very important to understand your position. If you're, construction company, that typically lags economic activity. So you're going to want to make sure that, we're feeling good today. That means I'm going to be feeling good a year from now. So it's very important to, one, recognize where you are in relationship to the U.S. economy, and two, knowing where you are in the business cycle. So understanding that, if right now I'm feeling good, I should be doing X, Y, Z things in my business. What that means is there's just much larger forces at play right now that's controlling the U.S. economy other than red or blue, right? I believe it was Warren Buffett that quoted, "Red or blue, I can still make green." It's about recognizing where you are in the cycle. It's about recognizing where the U.S. economy is positioned, how you relate to the economy, and how can I react to what's the information that's given to me today. Meaning, if people are moving to each particular region, that's going to be an organic opportunity for your business. Focus your marketing, your sales efforts towards those bluer states because more people are moving there than moving out. And we're at a positive, 2%? So that's probably 4 people, right? We can probably put a name on each one of those people that come into the state. But yeah, so there's a very different pattern happening once you consider immigration. So you have
the 4 that left Vermont.
Yes, the 4 that left Vermont came to New Hampshire, probably because they were too full from Ben & Jerry's. And if you're familiar with Brian Allen's book, Prosperity in the Age of Decline, it talks about 2030, 10 years from now, roughly 10 years from now, we're going to be entering an economic crisis worldwide because of these population trends, because of Social Security running out, which there are easy fixes to Social Security, I can get into that, but it's political suicide to make fixes right now to something that's going to happen 2 years down the line. All right, so we talked about US GDP, which is related to personal consumption largely, right? So what if you are more tied to the industrial economy? This is our second barometer of macroeconomic activity. We have US industrial production. So it means that if you're tied to manufacturing, if your business is solely in manufacturing, if you're in oil and gas, utilities, any of those types of things, you might move better with trends in this particular macroeconomic indicator that we track. This is U.S. industrial production. Again, left-hand side is historical performance as well. Now, if you move with the economy, you're feeling good, you're feeling great, you should be feeling optimistic. Your only positive problem is to be worrying about capacity issues or labor constraints. But as we head into late 2019, that might not be the issue, that we're going to start to slow down. So what are some of the trends that are confirming our transition to business cycle decline in the U.S. consumer or the U.S. industrial economy? This is U.S. industrial production, is what we just saw on that right-hand side, as well as our forecast of the U.S. industrial economy. So what I'm about to show you are the leading indicators, meaning they've already been shifted to the right to accommodate its lead time relationship to the U.S. industrial economy. This is just a fun indicator I like to throw in. We actually got this data after we created our forecast for the U.S. industrial economy. That red line has shifted to the right 16 months. So that creates 16 months of predictive insight for where that blue line, the U.S. industrial economy, is going to be heading almost a year and a half into the future, right? So we have that, and what this is saying is it's inverted, as you see by the right-hand side. It's negative on the top, positive on the bottom. What that means is how often people Google the word recession. Yeah, we have Volcker, Griefian, Bernanke, Yellen, and now Mr. J. Powell, so interest rates are bound to rise, right? And then if I'm next, expect that's when you want to buy a house, right? When I'm the Fed chairman this time. But nonetheless, we do expect interest rates to rise. As of right now, the 12 regional chairs.